Beware you dingus. I want that. Oh, you want that, huh? Well, tell Bobby that just because I stole his pumpkin video, it doesn't mean he can steal my dragon video and post it before me. You know what? In fact, tell Bobby that he can drag on these balls across his Alright, so originally I was gonna have a bit about how my scroll saw and Bobby's are the exact same scroll saw, right? Because that's crazy, like we should get married or something, right? But then something crazy happened. Z&A Productions, aka my boy Eli, he posted this video making a really cool crossbow, right? And I'm looking at him and I'm like, man, he's a little bit bigger than he was before. He's out here looking like Diet Dwayne Johnson. He's way bigger than he was before, right? And then I get to the end of the video. Look at this. What? Dude. What? What? Guys, I made a severe time lapse in my judgment. So I don't know if you know about this, but dragons in fact have wings, and I have made wings before. I'm really passionate about them ever since I watched Bobby make the most gorgeous set I have ever seen in my life. And so I go and I grab this aluminum backplate, and my plan here, as you can see, is to draw this blank up, cut this blank out using a cutoff wheel, and proceed to carve the details within it, kind of similar how Bobby Duke chiseled those details in with his wings that he made. But because it's aluminum, go back and use a rotary carver and die grinder. And so I spend days, carving this thing out, day after day, wasting all of my father's cutoff wheels that he didn't know I was using. I did go back and buy some replacements, don't get mad at me yet, but still, it didn't make it any less painful. Them things are expensive. I got all this aluminum dust down my spine and my shirt and on my hands and arms. I burnt myself, I got flakes flung at me, I got splinters. All this to get the first blank fully cut out. All I need to do is just go ahead and pop it out, just pop it and... You know, I might have laughed there, but I am holding back tears. And so I'm back at the drawing board. I have this other aluminum backplate. It is quite smaller, but something occurs to me. Symmetry, it exists. And if you cut this circle shape right down the middle, you get these two even blanks. If you grind out these little sections, you get these wing shapes. Plus they have these already threaded holes for bolts to go in so I could mount them on easier. It worked, and they just look infinitely better. Woo! So the original intent was to have another montage for you guys to watch, but Ed. I'm kind of sick of editing, and I think my dog is sick of me sitting here. My eyes are bloodshot. So what I figured I'd do is I'd tell you all my political opinions. So if you're...
Every day, Jacob goes to work. What's wrong? As wrong as this. And every day, he wonders what is happening to him.
Once again, I'm in the back of a stranger's car. Check the plates, hi, it's Jake, yeah, it's pretty far. I hit the tunnel cause I'm headed out west. Pay the price, but I'm trying my best. Wanted to say that I feel a type of way, I just can't communicate it when it happens each and every day. How could it feel so wrong when you say it's alright? When I'm staring at my walls each and every night and every day. Cause I can't be the one for you every day. Honey, this ain't making love to you every day. Yeah, I could be the motherfucker you want, but then it means that every morning I'll be gone. Takes time, let's just get it out the way. We both know that I can't stay in this corner like every day. Probably bad, my favorite part is when I'm cleaning up the drinks. I grab the dishes out the bed, I put my body in the sink. I get a moment when the water's on my neck. It's probably bad, I like it better than your lips. I feel ashamed that I feel a type of way. I don't wanna separate it, but I cannot take this every day.
It's finished. So if you look at the beginning of the video where I'm like holding the camera up, choking it, you can actually see my phone in the reflection of my sunglasses I was wearing. I don't know why I chose to wear sunglasses, but if you noticed, you noticed. Oh, and man, there was a lot that's not only happened just from the project, but from the beginning of the project all the way to the very end to where I am now. I mean, literally, I started on this thing over a year ago before my pumpkin video, and man, it's been such a long time since I've uploaded. But my life's been pretty hectic. Not only have I upped the hours I have to work, but in that time I went from living with my parents to being engaged, and now I could have a baby here within a week, which is really exciting and scary at the same time. So there's actually a lot that I cut out. I really wanted to make it perfect, and I really didn't by the end, but I actually took the thing apart like 4 times total, and I only showed you me taking it apart once, where I was really unhappy with the length of it. It looked a little bit like a velociraptor, and I was really wanting to go for a dragon. And if some of you more keen-eyed viewers will notice that the legs, they have splints and zip ties, many zip ties. And I just painted over both of those. And that was because I did not know how to weld at the time, very obviously. And on these, they're called linkages, there's kind of a hinge on the very end where the feet are. And I figured at the time, that'd be nice because more articulation. But when I actually went to mount it on, I just kept flopping forward. And so I thought I'd weld it. I thought I'd drill a hole in this other spot. I broke so many drill bits. I just cannot figure it out. And so what I did was I put a 40D nail on the very back end, because on that hinge, you can make it level just by turning it to a certain degree, and then if you put a nail right there and then you zip tie the nail, it makes it stay. And they already have holes from where a bolt's supposed to go in. So I took a bolt from underneath, drilled a hole, countersunk it, put a bolt in. When it poked through, I stuck the foot over it with a nut on it and then just tightened it down. So if you actually look at the dragon, it's floating. It's actually really articulated. Let me show you. So it's actually still pretty articulated. I bolted these down tight so that they'd be more stiff because I don't want them just dangling. I put JB weld on these joints so that they'd be even tighter, so I could get them into actual positions. But if you do this, it's kind of floating because it's so attached by the legs. And those are the splints I was talking about. Anyways, thanks for watching. Why?